Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Good evening. It's a stormy spring day. We had high wind advisories. There were warnings that objects may be blown over. And I looked out the window. The wind was blowing really hard. I looked out the window and I saw like a big trash can blowing down the street. I was like, they warned us this could happen. I'm so tired. I'm like kind of crazy. And I didn't know what I wanted to do the video about today. And then I remembered that there was something that I'd forgotten yesterday to talk about. And I think I've said this before that it doesn't matter. You can never run out of videos because there's always something I forgot to say yesterday. So, yeah, it's crazy. So I'll talk about what I forgot about in a minute. Hopefully I won't forget it. But I was going to say that a couple of things about today. One, man, the energy's been really heavy. And I was talking to my BFF earlier about this, and I was like, I don't know what is going on today, but I'm usually okay. I'm usually really good, actually, and really lately I've been like kind of manic and on top of the world. But today I felt the weight of the world hit my shoulders. And I had a bunch of cards like warning me about that at the beginning of the week. It was one of my themes in my weekly reading that, feeling the weight of the world and taking time to rest. And what was the other one? Like held in the arms, like cradled in the arms. And so today I was just like, man, just thinking about everything going on in the world right now and the stuff going on in Europe, and another year of my life is going by. And, it was just all hitting me, just the state of the world and the magnitude of this moment. And I know everything's gonna be okay, but it's so gut wrenching to think about a senselessness of war. I mean, I was gonna say, it's like that song. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. So yeah, I've just been like really weepy today. It started coming on yesterday. I went into work kind of sprightly, and one of our cooks from the back, I was like, hey, how are you doing? And he was like, other than blah, 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 blah. And then he listed off and he was like, and, staring at the brink of like nuclear oblivion. And I was like, and then I just kind of felt just a lot of I just kind of opened me up, and I started just to feel a lot of things that a lot of us were going through. And I started feeling sad last night, and then I woke up and I felt it again today. It was just like so heavy, and I've been trying to like massage these knots out of my shoulders, and that's been wearing me out. I've been in a lot of pains. They're like really deep embedded knots that always kind of go into the same spots. So I've been trying to grind them out, and I'm exhausted and I'm in pain, and all the toxins have been like re-released into my system. And I've been weepy and sad, and I ate a lot of carbs earlier over it, and I just wanted to be weepy and sad about it and not try to distract myself too much from just thinking about everything and meditating about it, I guess, or praying for peace and healing and unity and awakening. But yeah, that was just heavy on my heart. And so in that moment, I was just like, man, I have to like go to work and be like really on again. We had like 2 kind of really intense nights back to back, and I thought for a minute, man, it'd be nice if like my manager texted me to see if I wanted to be cut tonight. And I was talking to my friend on the phone, and I was like, oh, somebody texted me, and I looked down, and it was my manager texting me if I wanted the night off. And I was like, you're in my mind. Oh my God, I love you. Yeah, so I got to take the night off. And actually the way that I had to make that decision was influenced by one of the messages that I forgot to talk about yesterday, which was the fact that I had to choose. I was stuck for a minute because I was like, well, it's always good to go in and make more money. And so I kind of felt compelled to just buck it up and go in and do it anyway. And I thought, well, I'll have fun at work, and I'll be able to like kind of push through. But I was like, no, I kind of want to sit with all this today and maybe do some work on it. And but I had to, the message yesterday, part of it was that warning that we were being preoccupied or overly preoccupied with material concerns at the expense of our spiritual fulfillment, that it is now causing a spiritual poverty. It's like out of balance. And so today I was feeling that spiritual poverty catch up with me. And so I had to be like, okay, I'm going to say no to the money and try to like nourish myself back up today. And so I'm really excited. I'm going to take a bath and just get quiet and listen. And that is another thing that was thematic for the week, that our thoughts and our words and everything were very powerful, and that we're magicians creating what we want as we go. And I had no resistance to that moment. It was just sort of like a passing thought, and I didn't even have time to be like, no, that could never happen, or is he gonna call, or whatever. And it just I thought, oh, wouldn't that be nice? And then I just forgot about it and went about my day and started doing laundry and planned to go to work, and then it all worked out. So that was cool. So we are the creators of our own reality. So if we can do things like that on a small level, then collectively we should be able to do things like this on a grand level. And I was listening to Rob Bell's podcast earlier. It's I think number 321. This is one of his most recent. It's entitled "That Thing in the Air," and he was just talking about a lot of the same things that I've been talking about recently. So it was really nice to hear him talking about that. But he was preoccupied with the pain of just like of war breaking out in Eastern Europe, and just like the barbaricness of it, but also the hopefulness of it, that it's like most of the whole world is on the same page here, including most of the Russian people themselves, that this is not okay and it's barbaric, and like we're all like, why the hell is this happening in this day and age? Like, have we not learned any better than this? Like, at the end of this pandemic and this like political like uproar over the past several years, like we really want to cap it off with this moment. Yeah, and so my friend and I were talking about just the emotional intensity of the day earlier, and I said there must be something in the air, and she sent me a picture of a notification for one of her astrology things. It was, I think it's like Uranus is squaring Aries, and I was like, yeah, my Uranus feels very Aries right now. But yeah, so all that to say that the thing that I forgot to talk about yesterday was in the title of the video itself, which was there's a lesson that, like a big lesson that's been playing out, a cycle that's been repeating for a long time, that we're still not getting. There's like something about the way that we're perceiving how we interpret this lesson, or we're not getting the answer, or we're not getting it, or we're not embodying it, or we don't understand, or we're not taking that understanding and using it as wisdom. There's some part of it that we're still not getting. And I don't think that we're super far off, because we have been doing all the work, and we have been like really doing a lot of changing. And I think that I've talked to so many people have come such a like night and day, such a long way from, even a few months ago, a year ago, things look almost night and day. So I don't think we're super far off, but there is something to do with a lesson that we're not quite getting. And I think because of the two cards, both specifically mentioning that there was some kind of imbalance with our preoccupation with material concerns versus spiritual fulfillment. And so that could branch out from anywhere. It doesn't have to be finances and job and career. It can be getting wrapped up in like the physical presentation of something that you want, instead of being open to it coming, but like being more focused on the essence of it. Like, for instance, if you wanted to get a job at a specific company and it didn't work out, maybe that wasn't the right place for you, or maybe not yet. Maybe another opportunity will open up there later, but maybe something with the same essence that you want from that job, and the same aspects will come, and even better, right? If it's a friendships or romantic relationships, maybe it didn't work out with the type of person that you thought that you wanted, but you actually found out that you really hit it off with a different type of person that you weren't expecting. There's something we're getting wrapped up on. Maybe that we're getting obsessive over physical things defining who we are, or letting those define our worth for us. And when it's not the case, being too attached to the physical forms of anything. The things in this life are fleeting, and it puts a lump in the throat, It's like those sand gondolas, everything, it's just so brief. And then they have to sweep it away and just let it go. But yeah, I don't know, I just feel so weepy today. I'm really glad that I got the night off. I'm fine. I'm just like feeling like all the things of the whole world. But yeah, I'm gonna go take a salt bath and try to ground. And I got a good deli pizza I'm excited about. I was really craving like really giant pieces of too much, kind of slightly burnt edged deli pizza, pepperoni, and I got a big box of spring mixed greens to go with it. And I'm gonna watch The Marvelous Miss Maisel because that show's really funny. I love all the parents in that show. I have always hoped for Jewish in-laws, and it could still happen. I'm just a chick with shtick looking to holler at that yid. Know any cute Jewish singles in my area, send them my way. All right. Shalom. Oh, one last thing. So distracted. Tune into your higher self for guidance about what it is, what lesson that you're not getting, or what part of it that you're not getting. Just ask what you need to know for your highest good, and that maybe like pieces will be revealed to you, so that you can take proactive steps to work on it or change it or transmute it, alchemize it. All right, this time I'm really leaving. Bonsoir.